you. So let us start the session now. So as people join, we'll admit them. Okay, beds are free. So, okay, welcome all of you. So from both of us, cheers. We are having coffee.
I'm expecting something to come.
So it is all DIY today. So okay, let me introduce Tulsyan. So he is fondly known as Tulsi. See, most of the creative people and people who do things differently are always different by nature. So Tulsi's thing is he is basically a Marwadi, born and brought up in Andhra. So I thought he was a Telugu person because we had 30% of them were from Andhra Pradesh. So I thought he is also from Andhra Pradesh. But he is actually a Marwadi. Finally settled in Pune, but he is a US citizen. Okay.
Oh,
So that is something different. And next is that he was always careful about the security. So he chose a room next to me in the hostel. So he was fully secure. So he picked up all the security tips staying next to me. So then he joined Tata Infotech, no? First
I joined TCS.
TCS.
Yeah.
So then he went abroad, then he started on his own, and now he is a dada in security, cybersecurity. He has designed banking softwares and all. He has designed the security systems, and he has got a US patent also, as I have already said.
wow.
Okay, so this is just to introduce Tulsi, but more about him as we go along, because this is an interactive session. So over to you, sir, Tulsi.
Thanks, Venkat. Actually, I got into security after looking at his activities, you know.
So you may have to move a little bit to your right.
Pardon me?
Right.
You have to move
Okay.
a little bit to the right. Now you are in.
Okay. Hi, Santosh.
Venkat, you can go a little bit behind it so that both of you are visible.
No, I will not be sitting here. Most of the time you will be having.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I'll be just think that. Okay.
Hi, Santosh. Hi, Venkatesh.
Santosh, yeah?
Santosh.
Santosh K.
Yeah, hi Cookie, hi Venkat. Yeah,
Hi. You have come. You're in Bangalore or you are in Indore?
I am in Indore.
Oh, I see. Okay. So nice to see you in Spark now. So welcome.
Those who missed a few of the Spark session because they're outside. outside.
No, he is our another classmate. He is staying at Indore, but he has got a close connection now in Bangalore. His daughter is staying here.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening, all of you. I don't want to make it very technical, okay? And especially I have a tendency of going too technical. So whenever it becomes too technical, you have to stop me. You know, as simple as that, you know. And I did not wanted this to be a very formal session where I am presenting something and you know, you guys have to grab something out of what I am presenting. So let's make it more interactive session. So let's rather you shoot questions and I will try to answer, like, you know, because all of us we have certain concerns, all of us, you know, and then what I can tell you how they
Actually, before that, you tell us as to what you have already done in cybersecurity and your specialization.
Okay.
And some of the tips you sent us or sent all of us about, you know, the banking and how we are careful. You know, you say you start with all that. Then you can start with the questions.
now. Yeah, he has given brief background, like after NITI, which is IIM Mumbai now, I joined TCS, and then after like working for TCS for 1.5 years or so, I joined Tech Mahindra. Those days it used to be called Mahindra British Telecom. And later on I went to US and I was doing consulting for Fortune 50 companies, mostly in SAP infrastructure. Some of the top companies are PetSmart, Lucent, GE, NASA, and Black & Decker. So all these Fortune 50 companies I have consultant. I was consultant to them. So around 2007, lot of phishing started, you know. So especially what happened in Bank of America, somebody stole user ID password of one user, and then some money went out of that fellow's account, and he sued Bank of America. And in US, you mean suing means losing big money, you know. So I think,
Continue.
yeah. So in 2007, FFIEC, which is sort of RBI, or not exactly RBI, but sort of RBI of US, FFIEC is just responsible for banking guidelines, you know, but not managing monetary aspects. So they issued a what you call guideline saying that all high risk transactions have to be protected using two-factor authentication. Now that was how I got into that in 2007, though I did not have any security background as such, but I saw this as an opportunity and I got into that. Now there was a product called, some of you might have used, it is called RSA dongle. It is a small piece of hardware which displays number, and at the time of login you have to just enter the number, and that becomes your second factor. But of course, going by hardware means it's a big cost. One dongle used to cost $100 or so, and how many dongles you are going to carry? Suppose you are counting 10 banks, then you have to carry 10. So what we started was creating with a software equivalent of the dongle. That's how we started. But of course, what we started and what we have now is totally different. Now, in security world, there are, especially in a business environment, every business environment provides some user interface to user for initiating some request or initiating some transaction. So you have mobile app or you have web pages, you know, where you log in first and then you do some transaction. Transaction could be checking your balance, or transaction could be transferring money out. So that is called application end. Then there is a network end where the data, when it is getting transferred, you have to ensure that data is not leaked and nobody is stealing data. The last portion is what you call server end, where servers are typically hosted in some data center of that organization or on the cloud, and then basically the server does the actual processing, you know. So there should not be any leakage from the server. Now what you might have heard that 20 lakh credit card data got stolen, you know. So that happened at the server level. Somebody got access to the database and you know, took out card details of around 20 lakh customers, you know. Then network level, probably you might have heard few years back, Cosmos Bank, which is a Pune-based cooperative bank, they lost 94 crore rupees. So what some smart guy did, he basically interrupted at the switch level. Switch is a hardware environment which basically takes, which routes requests from one place to another, you know, in short. So when you say communicate to ICICI Bank, it is not that there is a direct one-to-one communication. It goes through a lot of switches, you know. Now for us, a common user, we just type www.icicibank.com, but we don't know the inside what is going on, which switch is being used. Even ICICI Bank would not know which switch is being used at that moment of time, you know. And there can be one switch within the bank, one maybe in Pune, one in Mumbai, one in Bangalore. Somehow, you know, the data gets reaches the destination, you know. So that fellow basically interrupted at the switch level, stole the data, credit card data of a lot of people, and then misused that data. So that is called network level theft. Next is like what application level theft. Now in application level theft, the most common theft is phishing. What phishing means, somebody is what you call getting your user ID password and using it. I am just giving example of user ID password, but it can be any other data, you know, then user using it. Now to protect from phishing, what banks do, they add one more factor, which and most common factor is OTP. Okay, so the assumption is OTP is coming on your phone and nobody else has access to your phone. So whatever OTP you are entering is known only to you. Okay. So basically this is application end protection. Again, at the application end, there are many other ways which I don't want to go more technical. Like there is swarming, domain rerouting, and all that. But there are various ways people take control over your application and steal data. Okay. Out of this, the most common is phishing. Now, you will be surprised. As per Gartner Group is a organization which is, they are supposed to be God in technology. It is a research, they do a lot of research in technology, and then they come up with their findings and research papers, etc. So, according to them, majority of the thefts are done by near and dear. Okay. It is not necessarily somebody outsider is doing. Chances are my son wants some money and basically he got hold of my user ID password and he has done the transaction. Okay. Even in banks, almost 50% thefts are done by bank employees. 57%. That's worldwide statistics by Pricewaterhouse. So in this discussion, we cannot basically discuss how to control bank employees, which we cannot do much, you know. We cannot basically you cannot even control your kids or wife or somebody. In India, it is not very prominent. In Western countries, it is very prominent. Where suppose a couple is going through divorce, immediately wife cleans husband's account or husband cleans wife's account. So it is very common in US or Western countries. In India, so far it is not that common, you know, but it can happen. So now I am giving just background. Now when it comes to theft, your data, whether user ID, password and OTP, there are multiple ways one can do. Okay. The most common way is something called social engineering, which is becoming very common nowadays. Okay. Somebody calls you and says, okay, if you do this, you will get 5,000 rupees in your account, or your insurance policy is expiring. So share your account number, we will credit money in your account. So basically there is no technology involved, but they use like social engineering to extract the required data, and then they use that data to carry out fraudulent transaction. Recently, one of our colleagues put one news item in our NITI group, where a wife of an IAS officer, she lost big money. I don't remember the amount, but somebody was really working with her for almost 2-3 months, and somehow perceived that whatever he is doing is a great job, and in the end, she transferred big money. I think 64 crores, something like that. You know, so. Human being by nature are greedy, okay, all of us, you know. So even when we get 5% sales somewhere, we go there, you know. So people take advantage of this, our weakness, and then they try to exploit this. So this is one big area which is uncontrollable, and there is no technology involved which can stop it for this kind of activities. It is your responsibility to stop it. Okay. Now there is a lot of assumption that OTP, what is coming on your mobile, is known only to you. Okay. I agree. Mostly it is correct, but it is not always correct. Okay. There are ways people can get OTP from your mobile. I won't discuss the ways, you know, that I'll draw the boundary there. There are ways people can get OTP. There are simple ways they can get user ID, password, and then they can carry out a transaction. No? So this is what you call as far as social engineering goes. So you have to be very careful whether whenever somebody is asking password, or somebody is asking account number, or somebody is asking say OTP and all that, you have to be very careful. It is better not to share. Okay, it is better to walk into a branch and do a transaction. Okay, I tell you, I am in what you call software. I don't use any mobile application, because mobile applications are very easy to it's very easy to exploit mobile applications. Okay, whereas web-based solutions are not that it's not that easy to exploit web-based solutions, you know. So I don't do any banking, I don't have UPI, I don't so only mobile applications what I have is very general applications like WhatsApp or Facebook or something like that, you know. But I don't do much financial transactions, you know. So as far as you guys are concerned, I would advise start using mobile, web-based application as far as possible, you know, and don't have mobile applications on your phone at all, unwanted mobile applications. Suppose you have 50 applications on your phone, you think that 10 or 12 are not needed, please delete them. Please delete them. The thing is, mobile application is a set of programs, okay? What that program is doing internally, that nobody knows, you know. Even expert like me cannot tell what this application is doing internally, you know, because in our language the code is compiled, it is next to impossible to, you know, understand that code. Certain portion we can understand, but nobody downloads any application, analyzes the application and then installs on his or her phone, you know. So avoid all mobile applications as far as possible. See, mobile application can read your OTP, mobile application can read user ID, password. Suppose you have ICICI Bank application, which accepts user ID, password and OTP for confirming the transaction. What I can always have a fake mobile application where I am, say, a gaming application, where I can say, okay, please to register for this gaming application, please enter your user ID, your mobile number, your say email address, set your password, set your PIN. Now this is what you require for logging into any application in the world. 78% people worldwide use the same user ID password on multiple applications. Okay, 78%. And I am also among them. And most probably you are also among them. You know? Because it is human limitation. We cannot remember user ID passwords of 50 sites, you know.
So basically where the apps comes into use is you are in a place, bank or somewhere, for some transactions, you need something right there to do the transaction. Even if you go for a social function where you want to transfer the money or something like that, that is where the app comes very handy because it is on the mobile. That is how you tend to download multiple apps of each of the banks. So you are advising even there you want to the web of on the mobile you can go through the browser and you can do the transfer, but invariably the user interface of the web is not that good on the mobile setup. So, but yeah, you say that you live with that and better don't use, right?
Exactly. So basically you use mobile browser instead of using apps, you know. Now some apps you cannot avoid. For example, UPI payment, Beam or Google or PhonePe, they are available only as apps, okay. There is no web-based UPI payment, you know. And other thing, you know, certain things you might have heard, like even I lost some 123 rupees a few months back. So I never had been to a place called Jalgaon, which is in Maharashtra. And then all of a sudden in the morning, I got a message that, okay, toll rupees 123 is detected from Jalgaon toll plaza. Okay. Now it is very easy to do, okay, very easy to do technically. Anybody and everybody can do. If you remember, during COVID, there was a small video which was floating around. One fellow, one small boy, he was scanning FASTag ID from cars, from a garage. Now, of course, doing some transaction. So basically, NPCI definitely issued a notice, clarification that this is not possible. But that notification, very honestly, it is just to just to reduce the anxiety. Actually, that was 100% correct. Now, when you go pass through toll plaza, the ID of your car is FASTag ID. Okay, the way when you do transaction on web, your ID is user ID. There your ID is FASTag ID. So what that small guy was doing, he was having one Samsung smartwatch. Okay, now Samsung smartwatch has Bluetooth functionality. So he was going to each and every car and just scanning FASTag ID. So FASTag IDs of say 100 cars is stored in his in his watch, and probably then he gave it to somebody for misusing it. So probably that guy, small guy did not do that fraudulent transaction, but he was
offline happening.
If it offline happened, he was just a collector. So now, what in this situation I suggest is, of course, you cannot avoid FASTag IDs. Okay, so you try to keep minimum balance in FASTag ID. So, for example, whenever I go just before travel, I add money. Similarly, if you are doing UPI transaction, okay. Now, if you have 6 accounts, okay, try to do UPI transaction only from one account.
Excuse me, I think Venkatesh, there is a background noise. You can mute.
For me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Venkatesh.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So, suppose you are doing UPI transaction, okay, and your telephone number is linked to say 6 bank accounts. Don't set PIN in all 6 accounts. Set PIN only in one account and keep minimum balance there. See, most of the time we use for small expenses, maybe paying to some vegetable fellow or maybe taxi fellow. Or
Now UPI Lite is available.
UPI, yeah. So, so most of the transactions are small. If the transaction is big, for example, you are transferring couple of lakh rupees to somebody's account, then why you have to use UPI? You as well do NEFT or RTGS, through a web browser, okay? Because that need is not going to come all of a sudden, okay? So use UPI, but use UPI only from one account and keep minimum balance. Minimum means maybe 20,000, 25,000. So if at all you lose, you are going to lose maximum 20,000, not lakhs of rupees. So there is no way you can avoid theft, okay? What you have to do is you have to minimize the exposure, yeah.
One more observation, sir, correct? Is it safer to use credit card than debit card when you are doing the buying and all? Because I have some experiences with a couple of times after swiping our card, next few hours something else transaction started happening, or even during that there were mistakes. Because it was credit card, the credit card company took the ownership and I got the money back. If it is debit card, you make a mistake, the money will go. So any points on that?
Yeah, credit card is always safer than debit card, okay, because of the reason you just explained. Now let me give you my own incident. In NPCI, in India, all these transactions are maintained by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. That is part of RBI, and the UPI is owned by NPCI, BHIM app is owned by NPCI, so all these transactions are owned by NPCI. I had a meeting at NPCI with their CEO. The meeting was around 5 o'clock in the evening. So I left Mumbai at 6 o'clock. And then I came to Pune, and I did not have dinner and all that. I was tired, and I was lying down. All of a sudden, some SMSs started coming. Okay. So then I checked, and my son is in US, okay, son and daughter. So like first thing we think is probably they are sending some SMSs, you know. So I got up and checked SMSs. What I found that my credit card, it was Axis Bank credit card, few thousand rupees went from Canada, few thousand from US, from this country, that country. So overall like 5 lakh rupees I lost within 10 minutes. Okay. So then of course I went to Axis Bank branch, then I filled up some form, then I went to local cybersecurity cell where I had to report this theft. Then I took that certificate, like copy of the complaint, I submitted to Axis Bank. I did not lose any money, okay, because in credit card the merchant does not get money right away. It takes some time, you know, so they stopped it. But of course there was a hassle, like one full day went in complaining and all that, you know. So when I asked like police, what are you going to do with my complaint? We are going to forward this to NPCI. And NPCI was taking consultancy from me how to trace this. So, and I literally tell you, there is no technology in the world that can precisely trace all these transactions. There's no technology.
Tulsi, does that mean that the merchant will be at the risk of losing the material he has given to that fraudster? Suppose that money is not gone from the user's account, but the merchant has already given some item to him.
No,
Does that mean that the merchant will
correct.
he would not.
But here the merchant was fake merchant. The person who charged card from US, Uganda or Korea or somewhere, they did not deliver any goods to me.
Okay.
So they just use my, see, ultimately Santosh, physical card is with you. Server does not understand physical card. Server just understands the data which you are passing. Okay?
Right.
So what data you pass to identify cards, card number, CVV number, expiry date and your name.
Yes.
So if I can capture the data, I can use it again and again.
Right.
Now,
Sir, I think Santosh was telling, wherever Uganda, wherever, the guy swiped your card and he took the item. As if as far as the seller is concerned, for him the transaction is complete and he gave the item. But now he raised a complaint and the card fellows they may block the transaction.
No, he has
money
not-
won't go to the merchant.
No, what he is
That
saying
is
is,
what-
he is only billed and he is only taken the money.
yeah,
Okay.
he never delivered any goods to me. So he is not at loss.
But if it is at the POS, point of sale, and they give the item, I think the Visa and those companies take the ownership, right? That's something like that works.
Correct. But that does not mean that if you complain, you will get the money.
That is it.
So basically it is not that it is your right to get money. See, for a bank it is always a dilemma. Suppose you go to a bank and file a complaint, somebody took out say 10,000 rupees from my account. How bank is going to know that somebody else has taken 10,000 rupees from your account, or Ramesh himself has taken out money and he is filing a false complaint? There is no way bank can.
Agree. That's true. Yeah.
No, Tulsi, there is a difference into it, right? So the swiping of the account, like in your case, you said, it happened in Uganda or US or UK somewhere, and you were sitting in here. So your passport did not have that stamping. Either you don't have a passport, or your passport did not have that stamping. So that becomes clear that you were at this place, right? So in such cases, this will not be an issue.
No, repeat again, please.
Say you told that the credit card transactions happened through your credit card.
Correct.
In UK, Uganda or some other places, and you were in Pune.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were in Pune, that you can always prove that this is my passport, this does not have a visa stamping, I am not in Uganda at that point of time. I am not in UK at that point of time. So that proves your location, right?
Yeah, but I think that we don't have to go that far. See, when I complained to Axis Bank, they checked whether that merchant is genuine or not.
So merchant could be genuine.
No, see, if merchant is genuine, then and there was a transaction, then it becomes Visa's responsibility or MasterCard's responsibility. Okay.
Okay.
Now, then, see, again, remember, there are two sides to it. One side is user side. Second is business side.
Right.
So, business also protect itself using different methods. One of the method is insurance. Okay. So Visa has probably taken insurance of $1 billion and paying some huge premium. Ultimately, that premium is going from the charges that they are collecting from merchant. It is not that they are paying from their pocket. So it is possible 2 or 3 transactions they were not able to analyze. Merchant did fraudulent transaction, they still paid to merchant, but then that will be covered under the insurance and they will recover from insurance. Visa will not try to go to court and file a case against merchant because that is too costly a job.
Okay.
No, as far as we are concerned, in case of credit card, we are protected if we can prove that it was a fraudulent transaction. Okay, and then we report it within 24 hours.
We have some numbers also, right? On which we can complain, file a complaint, 1930 or something like that.
1918.
1918, he says.
Okay.
Cybercrime. Okay,
No,
anybody
I'm
else?
seeing in the ads now, 1930, I think. A lot of people publish this on this cybercrime call 1930 or something. I think Santosh is mentioning that.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Suresh.
Yeah, I have a slightly different question. Since we have worked on both international systems as well as Indian system, from banking standpoint, so what is your general comment in terms of robustness, fidelity, whatever other parameters of banking systems from cybersecurity standpoint in India compared to the best, whatever you consider?
Indian systems are far robust than American systems. Okay. See, there are many reasons to it. Okay. In US, they started building systems in 1950 or so. Okay. So first focus was to do the transaction fast. Okay. That was their first focus, and then they started adding some security on the top of it. Okay. Over the period of time. So, and those systems are not driven by user requirement, those systems are more driven by transaction processing requirements. Okay. So that's how, I'm not saying all banks, but majority in general. Okay. Second thing, in US regulation is not that strong. US believes in free transaction. They believe that if there is a problem, then user is going to be responsible. Just to give an example, suppose I have to do something in India, I have to give an affidavit, then I have to go to notary checks whether you have whatever you entered in on that paper is correct or not. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to push the responsibility from the person to notary. Okay, as far as verification is concerned, US says you are signing the paper, so it is your responsibility to ensure that the paper whatever you are writing is correct. So that is the approach. The difference of approach is there between US and India. Now what happened in India, all online systems started building only after 2007. I started my project in 2007. When I came to banks here, banks did not even have a simple website. Forget about having internet banking. Okay, if at all there was internet banking, it was only some very basic things they were doing, you know. So, and in India, RBI is very, very proactive, very robust. They keep coming up with some other regulation. Banks are really tired of RBI. Because RBI auditor keeps coming every 2 months or every 3 months, and he does auditing for a month, you know. So most of the time they spend convincing the auditor, you know. So that is what in US there is no such system. There is auditing once in a month by some private guy. Okay, so probably Venkat is a certified auditor. He will go and he will audit, but central bank is not going to send a person to audit, you know. So that difference is there. In India, banks do not have much protection using insurance, you know. Because in India the legal system is very weak. Okay, so even if suppose you file a case against a bank will say, forget it, what is going to happen? Okay, he will fight for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, and he will give up, you know. Whereas in US, if you file a case against a bank and that the lawyer will say the damage is $100 million, even though you lost say just $10,000, $100 million is because of payment for whatever you have gone through. Again. So what banks in US did, they focused more on protecting businesses through insurance or through such arrangements, you know, rather than putting more security. See, there is always a balance that business has to business has to adopt between the security and the usability. More security you put, less usable the system becomes. Okay. So US wants very easy to use system, whereas like Indian thinking is it should be robust, it should be secure and all that. It does not matter whether user has to enter OTP after every 1 second. Okay. So but in terms of security, I would say Indian systems are very, very, very robust.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have one more question, Venkat. Is it okay or somebody is in queue?
You ask now let's give you
Okay. Yeah, so just a general question here. There is a lot of advancements happening in cybersecurity, encryption and all of those stuff. One of the things I have read is now that we are talking of quantum computing coming into picture, so they say once very successful, it will be not too long before they start breaking the standard classical encryption approaches, and then that can cause huge damage to various things. So any comment on that?
See, hacking, theft or whatever you do is a business. Okay. Suppose I invest 100 rupees and if I gain 1000 rupees, then I will do that, I will attempt that. But if I have to invest say 10 crore rupees and the chances of getting back is just 1 lakh, then I am not going to attempt that. Now, to break encryption using brute force method, as of now, even if I put all the computers in job, it will take at least 4 trillion years if I use 256-bit encryption. So I as a hacker is not going to put all the computers in the world and doing this. And in the end, even if I break, I may get only 20,000 rupees out of that account, you know. So encryption breaking is not an option even today. Encryption bypassing is an option. Okay. So or what happens is when you do encryption, there are two components when you do encryption. One component is called data that you are encrypting, you know. Second is a key or password or paraphrase, whatever you want to call. Using that you are encrypting. So for example, you have data where the data is say your just name or credit card number. then you use some private password, say password is James Bond. So you apply James Bond and then you encrypt. Then at the time of decrypting, you have to apply the same password and decrypt it. So what hacker or thief is going to do, he is not going to break the encrypted data, he will try to steal the encryption key or password. Once I have the data, encrypted data, I have the encryption key, I can decrypt it in a few seconds.
So it is better not to create a password at all then.
No, that is not. No, what I mean to say is, it is not necessary whatever you are doing is always protected, encryption is always protected. So, for example, these apps make big claim, WhatsApp, all communication is encrypted and blah, 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 all those things. Yes, encryption is protected. Now, encryption has two there are two purposes of encryption. One is called confidentiality and second is called protection against fraud. Now, protection against fraud is not covered by WhatsApp or anything, Confidentiality, yes, it is covered. But when confidentiality begins, when the message leaves your app, that time it gets encrypted, and suppose the message is going from your app to, say, Santosh app, during that period nobody can break the data. But I can always steal the password at the app level, I can trap the encrypted data, apply the password, and I can get confidential, I can get the message. Now, so, all what we call is what we do is we call software-based encryption. One can always manage that. What say defense do when they send messages and all that, they are more of hardware-based encryption. So encryption password is not known to anybody. They are embedded in a hardware chip. So it is very difficult to steal password. Chip was designed and what software was put in that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So anyone else?
Vishnu, I think you are mute. Please unmute it. Vishnu, you are mute.
Just Venkat and Tulsyan. Thank you very much. I'm leaving now because I got another activity scheduled.
Okay.
Okay, this is Raghunath here. Thank you.
Thanks, Raghunath. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, good night.
Can I ask my question?
Sure.
Yeah. Is it safe as senior citizens, we have kept our money in fixed deposits?
Okay.
Is that also prone for hacking or?
How do you, if you log into your account using your user ID password, can't you break FD and credit amount in your savings account?
No, I am not going to use the mobile application or internet banking at all. I just kept a physical copy of the.
No, actually that cannot be hacked.
Huh?
All physical copies have digital entries in the system. Nowadays, those days are gone that physical copies have entries in some register.
Okay.
So all physical copies have to have entries in your in their database.
But without original,
So
they
then-
cannot break now.
Then the bank is responsible, no, to keep it proper.
Bank is how do you know who has done the fraud? How bank is going
No,
to know?
without the original, they are not supposed to open the FD at all.
No,
You have to give a bond and all if you have lost the.
Agreed. Those FDs are going to be there in your online account, entry of those FDs. So if I can get unauthorized access to your account, I can break that FD online.
No, that is not possible. See, even if I have opened a physical FD, if I open my internet banking account and I want to encash the FD myself with all the password known, OTP known and all that, it is not possible. They say we go to bank and do it because it's a physical copy. Unless you give the bond, they say bond, FD bond. Unless you surrender that, they won't give.
Okay.
No, Venkat, if you open the FDs online, you can.
No, not online. He is telling a physical bond, physical FD bond.
Physically, this is a specific case of Vishnu. Actually, he has done everything physically, maybe.
We are talking only about physical. Online you can always break. Online anybody can break.
And all the invariably, only thing I have seen is it will naturally expire by the end of the period and it will come to the normal account, not the one opened online. If you want to break it premature, then you have to go to the bank. That way there is a little bit of a safeguard. Somebody in between coming and trying to steal and all would be possible because you have to go physically to break an FD. That much protection is there. Otherwise, you know when the thing is getting expired and it's automatically coming to your own SP or whatever the account.
Ramesh, for breaking FD, I don't think you need to go to bank.
Yeah, even if it is premature, you don't have to go.
Premature.
You know, even premature, you don't have to go.
Then there is a risk.
Yeah, premature also is possible.
See, as far as I know, but I don't know about physical, I think all FDs can be processed online, even if you had physical copy.
No, not in India.
Okay, I may be wrong.
See, another thing is in all these Indian banks, especially this ICICI, HDFC and all that, if you transfer yourself more than 20,000 rupees, they call you to confirm. You know, it's an automatic system. If you press no, that I have not done the transaction, they will stop the transaction. So that is also, the protection is there.
Again, there is a catch here. Okay, you can set limit online. So what that fraudster is going to do is going to change your limit from 20,000 to 20 lakhs first.
No, that is for credit card.
No, even for money transfer.
No,
there is a,
not money transfer.
There is a daily limit. Or
no, that is okay. That is okay. What I am saying is, if you transfer more than 20,000 rupees to somebody, you have a limit. You have 5 lakh limit, but you transfer 20,000. There is an automatic message which comes. If you have done the transaction, press 1. If you have not done, press 2. Okay. If you press 2, they will stop the transaction. That is done in ICICI.
Venkat, I don't know. I have not seen that kind of thing.
Yeah,
no, ICICI they do for me.
No, it depends on which bank.
No, I'm saying few banks, few known banks. And if you transfer, even if you give a check for 25 lakhs, they call me and confirm whether you have given the check. You know, that is there in some
positive pay anyway is there. But online transfer, I think HDFC, ICICI up to 25 lakhs you can do in one go. Even the NEFT and things like that.
No, you can do, but you get a call immediately from their customer care center.
So anybody,
25 lakhs is big amount, 4-5 lakhs and all, no calls.
Any other questions are there? Shall we?
Anything more than 1 lakh or 50,000 you get.
Shall we close it now? Any other questions?
You get a call or you get SMS?
No,
Not a call.
No, again depends on the bank.
No, it's a call. It's a call.
Automatic call.
They are calling.
No, but
automated call.
Not every bank does. I know that's the reason.
Any other important questions?
One last question from my side. So it was very engaging discussion, Mr. Tulsi. Thanks a lot.
It is not a question. It is not a question.
So what is the biggest thing that is happening in this frame of whatever is your day-to-day stuff? What do you think is the biggest thing that could be of interest to common man?
Biggest thing.
No, in terms of cybersecurity,
Yeah.
because otherwise we will talk about Narendra Modi and BJP and all that.
So your next session is going to be on Narendra Modi.
So I'll thank
thank you.
all memento to him, so we can all clap.
Thanks.
Venkat, one last question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. It was good listening to the talk about cybersecurity. We have been seeing in so many social media, newspapers, everywhere that so many cyber crimes have happened, and they have identified what is the sort of crime which is happening. But the end action is whether they are able to recover that money which individuals have lost, and what is the success rate here, Mr. Tulsi?
Vaman, as far as I know, there is no technology that can trace fraudulent transactions. Okay. So I think I put that message in our group. Whenever police makes a claim, it is sort of saying for every issue, the way they blame ISI for that issue, they say, okay, we solved that problem, this fellow is responsible or something like that. But they don't have any data, there is no way they can recover. The only way they can recover is when something physical has happened. For example, in Cosmos Bank, when 94 crore rupees was stolen and all that, couple of those guys, they went to some ATM in Aurangabad and they were trying to withdraw big money from their account, and their faces were captured by local CCTV, and then bank got suspicious and the police followed them and they caught them. Okay, so only if this kind of things happen, these guys are going to get caught. There is another thing which is becoming very big, which is called mule transaction. Okay, so suppose I steal money from somebody's account, I am not going to keep in my account. I am immediately going to transfer in somebody else's account, that fellow will transfer in somebody else's account, that fellow will transfer in some. So it is next to, and it is not necessary it will happen within India only. It can happen, some amount can go to Singapore, some amount can go to Dubai, some amount can go to Russia. So it is next to impossible to, for one, trace all the transactions. Even if you trace, suppose you want to get the money back from Russia, most probably you have to file a case in Russia, and then Russian court has to say, okay, you can get the money back, then only you are going to get the money back. So it is not
So that means there is no even any capital
recovery
of a
punishment.
Hello?
Capital punishment.
Punishment, yeah. There is no capital punishment based on the first interaction what has happened.
See, in India, most of the police loses most of the cases, in court. The reason being they are not able to provide sufficient evidences, So always court says, because of lack of sufficient evidences, we are acquitting this person. Okay? Now, what is the evidence police has? IP address. Only data they have is IP address. Look at what happened in 2611. So, police traced the IP address. The IP address turned out to be of Vashi in Mumbai. Vashi is a suburb in Mumbai. But actually the caller was operating from Pakistan. Handler was in Pakistan. So what he did, through VPN and all that, he connected to some network in Vashi, and for all purposes in police systems, all these calls came from Vashi. When they went to that flat, they found that flat is locked.
See, actually, I will tell you.
Last question.
Question. What? We are close to.
On the current, what we call the digital arrest and all that's happening, and they tend to talk about so confidently about the account details and that. Is it that some banks, people are involved? Recently, we saw somebody from Delhi, very renowned doctor and husband being a very big shot. And they known bank, known people over there, even though they were suspecting these people, went and asked them to release the money, etc. Is it that those kind of details, is the bank has a hand in glove kind of situation, or is it purely digitally?
I won't say bank as an entity, but bank employees do.
Employees, yeah. And the other thing is about very intelligent, very normal people are getting psyched by this. Is there some kind of a hypnotization and all happening there? Because we have seen some people telling, I literally was hypnotized and suddenly my son came, sister came, and they kind of shoot me up.
No, actually, I have seen some people who are already involved in some kind of fraudulent activities in their mind, they get affected. See, I also got calls. So when I started asking them back, they kept the phone down. See, another thing in cybersecurity, which is, which I have to tell you, is that in September, I got a money of 3.49 lakhs transferred to my account, which I don't know where it has come from. So I wrote a letter because I want to be safe, because some terrorist must not have transferred to me. So I wrote a letter to ICICI. They said, no sir, it has come from SBI, this branch, Colaba branch of Bombay. Okay, then you don't have to worry. So I have given the letter in registered post and all, but 3.49 lakhs nobody has claimed. Okay, so
I'll
that.
check my SBI account. I'll check my SBI.
No, but you may not be in Bombay. When you are in IIT, I hope you never had this much of money. And another thing is, see, most of the time the cyber crimes, what happens is, once I was sitting with my bank manager, suddenly somebody came and said, sir, what is this, sir? You asked me to give the OTP, 5,000 rupees has gone. He said, I have not given. No, somebody called up and said, actually somebody has called up. He said, you called up and said, bank manager, give me the OTP, I will ask you OTP now. So I gave the OTP, my 5,000 rupees has gone, like that. So most of the time, people are being fooled. So this digital arrest also is being fooled only. Technology crime is secondary, but fooling is the prime thing now in all these digital arrests.
That social psycho something. I think.
And even in police station,
social engineering has gone.
see, I lost some gold and all in 2010. I interacted with police very closely. What happens is, even if police trace the gold, not mine, I'm saying anybody else, what they do is, suppose there is a necklace, they have got somebody in Chickpet area, Avenue Road area, they send the photograph, next day he makes the same thing in copper. So they replace it and say this was the one which was found. And the customer goes and says, this is not, he identifies, this is my necklace. He goes to court, gets the thing and goes to market and says this is a copper only. Then they say, no, we don't know, this is what we found. So this fraud transaction will happen everywhere.
Second level, okay.
Hey, recently Canara Bank, same thing happened, no? He left 100 grams of, for example, necklace. Two things they have taken, 2 or 3 chains they have taken out, rings. And it has become 90 grams now. When they took back only, it was 90 grams. So even Canara Bank officials are involved in that. So,
somebody is hand in glove is there. Otherwise, it won't be so much.
Definitely, when you look at what happened during COVID, demonetization, most of the fraudulent activities were done by bank employees only. So they are involved. As I said, the statistics says 50% of major frauds are done by internal people. 57
India only or
worldwide.
Worldwide. So thank you very much, Tulsi.
Thank you
for all your time. So from morning he has been, he took the flight at 5:15, landed here at 6:30, then went for a meeting at 9 o'clock, came back at 5 o'clock and started the session again. So it's been a hectic day and he has got a flight back at 2 o'clock in the night. So he is used to not sleeping, having a sleepless nights. So still he is a security man, not a hacker. Okay. So thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all of you for joining at a short notice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tulsi.
Thanks.
Thanks, Santosh. Thank you.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Bye.
What I strongly suggest is delete all unwanted mobile applications from your mobile. Don't download mobile application unless it is really necessary, okay? And you have to really check the source multiple times before downloading. And especially don't click on any link and download any mobile application, okay? Because when you are clicking on link, you don't know the application that is being downloaded is the fake one or the real one. But if you go to Play Store or if you go to App Store and you say click ICICI Bank mobile banking, then ICICI Bank application is going to come up, okay, on the top. There is a package name, so you can check whether the package name is ICICI Bank package name. And when you are basically assured, then only you download, you know. Now, technically there are many ways. I have given very simple example, like somebody is stealing your user ID password which is in text format, but there are various ways people throw some images. You try to play with images in the way they understand, you know, your user behavior. Sometimes even sometimes you might have seen on Facebook, okay, to unlock this image, to see the whole image, please unlock this image. Okay, so what you are doing is you are typically entering some PIN number, and most probably it is the same PIN that you use for your ATM card or UPI PIN or credit card, you know. So don't get into this kind of, you know, this kind of things, you know. I'm not saying every image is bad, but you never know what you are doing, what is going to happen. Now, as far as I am concerned, what I am trying to do, we built a solution that basically what we are trying to do is we want to protect you guys from losing your identities. Your identity can be user ID, password, it can be account number, it can be Aadhaar card number, it can be PAN card number or something. So losing your identities and somebody else basically is able to do a transaction using stolen identities. So that is what our software is trying to do. Now what we try to do is assume that your user ID is changing every 1 second. So can I then steal your user ID and use it? Probably not, because by the time I use it, your user ID would have expired. Now of course I cannot make you enter a different user ID every 1 second, but the software generates and internally basically create user ID, and that is what is used for authentication. Same goes with other data. So this is like a small background, of what is going on here. Now, as far as of course we cannot stop doing digital transaction in this era. It is impossible to stop it. And I don't say that you stop altogether and go and do it at branch. That is not advisable. But please keep you protected. All those small things like which you see in the news item, check for lock and all that, they are very old ways of doing things. Now, if you can, if the ICICI site can put a lock, I can also put a lock if I am a hacker. So that is not going to help. You have to really look at the URL on the top for the web page. If it looks authentic, then only use it. Don't look for locks and all that. They are useless now. So, so now I think I will open it for questions and answers. And if somebody wants to know how anything is done technically, or thing, I can also explain that.
So I think what we can do is those who have questions, just raise the hand there. There is a button there, and Tulsyan will allow you to speak. So you can unmute and speak, and then mute it back, so that everyone is clear of what he is telling you, and even everyone is clear of the question also. Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Ramesh.
Hello.